What's up, I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time I'm excited to talk about the HasLab project that Hasbro is doing, and this isn't going to be for everyone, but it seems like it's caught on because the backing for this HasLab project, which is a lot like Kickstarter, needs 10,000 people to purchase it. It is almost halfway through. It's like 4,600. It's not even the full day, the full first day of the HasLab project after it's been announced. So I think that this is going to be backed, and there's two tiers that come later on. So this needs to be backed at 10,000, but if we reach 13,000, we're going to get this huge sword that I think is kind of a reference to the Fortress Maximus. And at, I think it's 16,000 or 17,000, we're going to have a bridge set up that's going to be this kind of base thing so you can prop it up, and I thought that was pretty cool. It's also a reference to the actual show itself. But yes, this is based on Transformers Robots in Disguise, and some people are upset that the price is really high, but you gotta understand that this is two figures where they don't really care about the budget and the engineering because they could go all out, and that's kind of the point of the HasLab project, is to find its audience and to produce a figure that doesn't really have to deal with budget constraints. So I'm excited for all this, and I think that this is going to be the one HasLab project I'm going to pitch into. Not that I have a problem with the other ones, it's just either bad timing or I'm not attached to some of the figures like Victory Saber or Death Source. I just personally am not. But for this, yes, because this was actually technically the first Optimus Prime that introduced me to Optimus Prime. And also, I love the Fire Truck Optimus. So anyways, let's go ahead and dive in and just talk about my thoughts. So there is the Fire Truck alt mode, and I gotta say, it is supremely clean. Yes, you can see the head on top, but I think that's something from the original toy, so I don't necessarily blame them. It would be nice to find some sort of way to cover that up, but it's not a big deal. I also like the text on the side there. I think it's very simplified, but that's what helps it that's what helps it look so clean, is what I was trying to say. I like the big chunky ladder. It seems like you got the hoses that will be able to flip forward, and yeah, I love the look of it. It's very long too. And then we take a look at the base mode. So half of the truck will be able to disconnect and will form this base while the other half transforms into the robot. So you got this tall ladder as a tower with a gunner section, and then you can also see the fists kind of form these missile launchers. So yeah, again, something that was seen in the show. I'm excited for that, and it looks really big too. Now, starting off with the core Optimus Prime itself, you can see the wheels on the knees, you can see that lush blue going in certain places, and, you know, the different aesthetic compared to G1, but you still have the similar traits with the chest forming the windows and whatnot, but, yeah, it's very iconic to Robots in Disguise, and I'm thrilled. The head shape looks pretty good, and yeah, I like how it turned out. And then you could also plug the feet for the combined mode as missiles for the shoulders. I thought that was a cool touch, and it seems highly articulated too, which is kind of a big deal for these. Also wanted to point out that apparently this is going to be a Legacy figure in 2025, so that kind of says that Legacy will go beyond the third chapter, which we had assumed is only going to be a trilogy, but it seems like they're going to continue with that. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the combined mode. You can see those missiles as the feet, you can see the ladder on the back, and then you can see the torso that expands with this orange belt. I love that orange belt. And then you can see the bigger hands. These will be able to articulate, so that's cool. And you could also see the new head. That looks very nice. And yeah, I just think he looks fantastic. I know I'm just saying he looks good, but I'm sorry, he looks good. That's all I could say. And then we also have Ultra Magnus, so this is going to be included with the pack. And I find it funny that the first Ultra Magnus we got with the War for Cybertron line was actually in reference to this, so it kind of circles back to that. You can see that the trailer is very empty, which I'm curious if that's because they're going to release some of the other car robots that will be able to store inside of it. I know that they're planning to do Sideburn, because we saw that with the listing, and then we also have the Shadow Striker, which is just straight up Sideburn, and then we also have Towline, so I'm curious to see if he'll be able to fit inside. You can see the gunner on the top there, and the big, bold Autobot symbol right there at the front. That looks fantastic. Lots of portholes as well. You will notice a ton of portholes, which is good for this, you know, Legacy lineup, and Also for the weaponizer that I'll include, which we'll talk about in a second, taking a look at the robot mode. Now, this isn't necessarily my go-to Ultra Magnus, but I like that it's a different Ultra Magnus. He definitely has long legs, which might be sexy, or might just be weird. I'm kind of leaning towards sexy, but I love the wings on the back. I love the chunky arms and the head design. It just doesn't really scream Ultra Magnus to me in the traditional sense, but as a version of Ultra Magnus, yeah, I'm fine with that. I also like the strong amount of blue than the light blue that's brought in. Speaking of blue, this is Bluebolt, so they decided to change one thing and give the weapon set for Ultra Magnus a character. So, like the 6-gun or the Brunt or whatever, this will be able to transform into its own character. They even said the Armorizer gimmick, so you'll be able to pop off some of the limbs and transform it like that. It's more like the original weaponizers from the Siege line, but they didn't skip on trying to make this look like the original weapon, so that's good. Oh, I got the hiccups. And there's the robot mode for Bluebolt. He kind of reminds me of some of the Minicons, I think, from Armada or Cybertron. Sometimes they would repaint them, especially with the colors and the guns on the hands. But yeah, this is just an additional character that's being brought in. You know, it's not a big deal. It's not a deal breaker for me. Oh no, they're changing something. Not a big deal. Anyways, let's go ahead. Oh god, my throat. Let's go ahead and take a look at the size comparisons. So the Optimus and the Ultra Magnus will be roughly around the same height as a Commander class toy. Now that doesn't mean that they have the same exact engineering. They're just around that same height as, let's say, Jetfire or Victory Saber. And then we could also see Bluebolt's is roughly around Deluxe class size, which I think is just fine for them. And then you could also see that they hold hands, which is lovely. Ultra Magnus actually has a port to plug into the hand, so that's actually a combination port. And then taking a look at the full combined mode, this is the Omega Prime. So this is the Ultra Magnus, the Optimus Prime, the Bluebolts, everything together, and I'm super thrilled. It is big, it is massive, it just kind of blows up with so many different components. I love the chest with the Ultra Magnus, front of the cab and then the sides. I like the wings on the back. I like the white gloves. Oh my god, he just looks so good. So I'm thrilled. I am happy. And yeah, like I said, I'm excited. So what do you guys think? Please comment below. Let me know. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun doodads. And I will see you guys next time.
AllSpark TV. Now that's just prime.